Say hi, Thor. Say hi. You guys never seen him before, but this is my dog, Thor. He's weird. Alright, so go. So today I'm going to be doing my first NFL mock draft for the 2015 draft. I apologize for something. Recently I've been making videos about season recaps, and I think I'm up to like the New York Jets or something like that, which is like the 5th draft pick or something like that. And right now I'm pretty busy with schoolwork and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I haven't been getting time to do research. I haven't been getting time to do all these things and make the videos and all that stuff. So I decided to let that go, and I guess I'll leave it in your own hands to look up the stats of previous teams or your favorite team. And I just wanted to do a mock draft to kind of make up for all that that's lost. Because really, what I was making the videos for was the draft picks and why I wanted to draft them. But I'm not really gonna give an explanation why I drafted them. I'm just gonna say right up front who is drafted, and maybe I'll give a little description why. But all right, so this is before combine. As we speak, the combine is going on. Today is quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs. I did watch Marcus Mariota and some of the wide receivers. I watched the first two groups of quarterbacks and the first two groups of wide receivers. I didn't get to running backs yet. I'll probably watch them after this video because I don't think they went yet. So let's get on to the 2015 mock draft. First, you got Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, quarterback out of FSU. I don't think there's any argument there. I don't really think they're going to go with anybody else except Jameis Winston. So I think that's in the bag. The Tennessee Titans, I had Vic Beasley at first, but I realized watching more film that Vic Beasley isn't kind of the person you're going to want as your second overall pick. So I went with Dante Fowler Jr. They do run the 4-3 defense. The 3-4 defense, Tennessee. And I'm pretty sure that Dante Fowler ran that in college, so he'll be playing an outside linebacker role. He can play defensive end and outside linebacker, but I think he'll fit the outside linebacker role better. If you put him I think you should put him on the weak side, have no one cover, he could run around freely and do his thing. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Trey Waynes, cornerback out of Michigan State. I really like the kid. Some people don't have him drafted until in the middle of the first round, but I think he is an exceptional cornerback, and you can kind of relate his play style to Richard Sherman. That may be pushing it a little bit, but that's what I think. And I apologize if you hear my dog walking around. He's just bored. So the Oakland Raiders select Kevin White, wide receiver at West Virginia. Now, I watched Kevin White at the Combine just now, and people say that Amari Cooper may be better. Amari Cooper ran a 4.42 40-yard dash, and believe it or not, he's shorter than Kevin White, and I think less weight. But if Kevin White ran the 40-yard dash in 4.35 seconds, that is absolutely insane. So you look at him and you know what he could do down the field. I think he's better down the field than he is Amari Cooper. So that's why Oakland will draft Kevin White instead of Amari Cooper. The Washington Redskins select Randy Gregory, defensive end out of Nebraska. The New York Jets select Marcus Mariota, quarterback out of Oregon. The Chicago Bears select Danny Shelton, defensive tackle out of Washington. The Atlanta Falcons select Shane Ray, defensive end out of Missouri. I really think he'll be a good fit there because the Falcons have terrible pass rush. If I'm not mistaken, they have probably the worst pass rush in the league as of last season. Your New York Giants select Brandon Sheriff, Iowa. He is an offensive tackle out of Iowa. Now, I could see the Washington Redskins taking him. I honestly can. I really hope they go with defense because I think they should work on that. I really hope they go with Randy Gregory because I really don't want anyone picking Brandon Sheriff. I have my mind set on that guy. So Brandon Sheriff needs to go to New York Giants, offensive tackle out of Iowa. The St. Louis Rams select Amari Cooper, wide receiver out of Alabama. I think that the St. Louis Rams has decent receivers, but not elite. And I think putting Amari Cooper right next to Tavon Austin and mix him up with Jared Cook, the tight end, I think will be a great receiving core for the St. Louis Rams. And I think they can get maybe even Brett Hundley in the second round. So if you put those guys together, I think they'll be an exceptional team in the NFC West. The Minnesota Vikings select Andres Pete, offensive tackle out of Sanford. The guy is humongous. I mean, you're not going to move that guy at all. I promise you that. The size of his thighs are like a refrigerator if you didn't see him at the combine. So I think the Minnesota Vikings will get an offensive tackle, which they struggled at. Cleveland Browns select Devontae Parker, wide receiver out of Louisville. The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Peters, cornerback out of Washington. This guy had like 3 picks against, I can't remember what team when I'm watching this highlight video. 3 picks against some team, man. But it was he's a great cornerback. I am very high on him. He's going to be very successful in the league. I think he'll do good for the New Orleans Saints. I think they are struggling in the secondary, and they could use him. The Miami Dolphins select Vic Beasley, outside linebacker out of Clemson. I think Vic Beasley fits, mid first round instead of what I had him at the number 2 overall pick, which is kind of foolish of me. The San Francisco 49ers select defensive tackle Leonard Williams out of USC. I like Leonard Williams a lot. He is a huge run stuffer, and I believe that the San Francisco 49ers can rebuild their defensive line to how they had it before and make that front 7 scary as it was, because they lost Ray McDonald, and their defense is okay, and I think that with having a run-stuffing defensive tackle in Leonard Williams will help their defense a lot. Houston Texans select Lyle Collins out of LSU. I think they need an offensive tackle, something that helped that running a little bit better. Arian Foster is a great runner, and if you could put a better offensive tackle in there, I think he'll run even better and protect any new quarterback that's coming in, because I honestly think Houston Texans are going to draft a quarterback probably in the 2nd to 3rd round. I don't think the 1st round, I think that's a big need yet, but I think they're going to draft a new quarterback in the 2nd round, and you're going to need somebody to protect him better if you want him to be your franchise quarterback. The San Diego Chargers select Malcolm Brown, defensive tackle out of Texas. This guy, Malcolm Brown, he is insane, man. If you haven't watched his tape, you guys should watch it. He runs stuff, he sacks quarterbacks, and gets to the quarterback, obviously, and he's very good at putting pressure on that O-line. The Kansas City Chiefs select wide receiver Jalen Strong out of Arizona State. It's an obvious need that they need a wide receiver at that team, because none of the wide receivers have scored a touchdown, and they're all wide receivers that you could really pick up on the street. You got Jason Avant, you got Dwayne Bowe, who's like slowly declining in his skill. And if you hear a saw outside, I'm sorry. This is like my neighbor's like crazy, like in carpentry and stuff like that. I always hear that in the morning. I apologize if that is overwhelming. The Cleveland Browns select inside linebacker Denzel Perryman out of Miami. I think they're in need of a linebacker. I think their defense is pretty strong. Their secondary is probably one of the strongest secondaries in the league, besides Seattle. That team had like 21 picks, and their safeties combined had like 10 picks. So I obviously don't see a need in secondary. as some people may think. But yeah, I think they go with inside linebacker Denzel Perryman here out of Miami. The Philadelphia Eagles obviously have a huge need in the secondary. Um, so I think they'll select safety Landon Collins out of Alabama. The Cincinnati Bengals select no. Sorry, I crossed that out. The Cincinnati Bengals select Kevin Johnson, cornerback out of Wake Forest. He's also a very good cornerback that I am very high on. The cornerbacks in this draft, I don't think there's much of them, much of a selection, but the top four are really good, and I'm very impressed with them, and I think they could wind up starting next year. So the Pittsburgh Steelers select Eric Armstead, defensive end out of Oregon. The Detroit Lions select Melvin Gordon, running back out of Wisconsin. I think the Lions really need a running back. They got Reggie Bush, who's getting older. They had Joyke Bell that they could keep on there. And if you add Melvin Gordon, you'll kind of restore a 1-2 punch to the Detroit Lions. And I think this is going to be the first time in 2 years that a running back is selected in the first round, being that the amount of talent that Melvin Gordon has. And same thing with the other running backs. I think they're just too special to hold off to the second round, especially if you're the Detroit Lions, who are picking in the later, having the later picks in the round. You don't want to miss out on a running back like that, and then seeing what you have in the second round in the later picks. I think that's just not smart of you. So if you want to go with a running back, I think you go right here and select Melvin Gordon, who obviously is better than any of the other running backs there. You can make an argument with what's his name? You can make an argument with Todd Gurley, but I think Melvin Gordon is a better back. Okay, so the Arizona Cardinals select Benardrick McKinney, inside linebacker out of UCLA. Their Arizona's running backs are getting kind of old, so I think they need somebody there. I'm running out of time here. So the Carolina Panthers select T.J. Clemmings, offensive tackle out of Pittsburgh. You obviously need an offensive tackle there. Their offensive line is really struggling. The Baltimore Ravens select Danielle Hunter, defensive end out of LSU. The Dallas Cowboys select Ifo Ekpre Alamu, cornerback out of Oregon, who I like a lot, but he's a little touchy with his hands, and he's like a Brandon Browner kind. Denver Broncos select Devin Funchess, tight end / wide receiver out of Michigan. I think if you lose Demaryius Thomas or if you lose Julius Thomas, I think Devin Funchess could fit both of those roles. So he's probably going to fit the tight end role more than wide receiver, being that he ran a 4.7 at the 40-yard dash. But I think Denver Broncos could go a long way with him there. Indianapolis Colts select the Todd Gurley, running back out of Georgia. Green Bay Packers select Paul Dawson, inside linebacker out of TCU. Seattle Seahawks select Max Williams, tight end out of Minnesota, who obviously is a better tight end than anybody in this draft by far, by a huge margin. So that's that. And the New England Patriots select Dorial Green Beckham, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. I could see them drafting wide receiver obviously in the first round. I think that's a must for them. I don't really think they're struggling anything else than that. They'll either get Dorial Green Beckham or Justin Dorsett, I think his name is. Really fast wide receiver. He's 5'9", he's out of Miami, and you could go with Dorial Green Beckham or Justin Dorsett. So, is his name Justin Dorsett? I don't know. I think I'm getting mixed up with Justin Forsett. And okay, it's Dorsett out of Miami. Look him up. He's really fast. He ran a 4.33 in the 40-yard dash. So that's my mock draft, guys. Tell me what you guys think below. Everybody here and the names and stuff like that and the teams will be in the description. So just in case you missed something, you couldn't understand what I said, or need a name spelling like Ifo Ekpre Alamu, it'll be in the description. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.